Good morning, everyone. There comes a time in life when you realize not everyone wants to hear your story. Not everyone is rooting for your healing. And the truth is, more often than not, people are more curious than they are concerned. When you're in pain, when you're broken, when you're on the verge of losing it all, you look around hoping someone will see it, hoping someone will step in. But what you usually find is silence, indifference, a world too busy with its own problems to care about yours. That's a hard truth to accept. But it's also a powerful one. Because once you realize that nobody owes you understanding, you stop begging for it. Once you understand that most people only check in to check the drama, not your well-being, you stop oversharing. You start building strength in silence. You stop bleeding in front of people who are just watching to see how long before you fall. This isn't about bitterness. It's about survival. It's about protecting your peace. It's about choosing strength over sympathy. So, yes, hide your pain, not because you're weak, but because you're wise. Learn to heal privately. Learn to grow without an audience. Let your success speak louder than your scars ever could. Because even though nobody may care now, they'll start paying attention when you rise. It's one of the most uncomfortable truths to face, but it's necessary. Most people don't actually care about your pain. Not in the deep, selfless way you might wish they would. Sure, they might ask, "Are you okay?" Or drop a quick "stay strong." But more often than not, it's surface level sympathy. A temporary flicker of interest that fades as soon as their phone vibrates or life distracts them. It's not that people are heartless. It's that they're overwhelmed with their own battles. Everyone is carrying something, and in that chaos, your suffering often becomes background noise. You can scream in silence, hoping someone will hear you. But what you'll find is that most people are either too busy, too numb, or too indifferent to listen. They'll scroll past your pain like it's just another caption. They'll see your tired eyes, your subtle withdrawal, your need for someone to just notice. They'll keep going, because noticing takes energy. It takes vulnerability. And in a world where everyone is trying to survive, empathy becomes a rare currency. Sometimes the hardest part of pain isn't the pain itself. It's the loneliness that follows. The realization that what's breaking you down isn't breaking anyone else's routine. You could be falling apart and still get texts like, "Hey, can you do me a favor?" People don't pause for your hurt. They don't rearrange their day because your world is crashing. The world doesn't stop spinning just because yours is on fire. They're on fire. You start to learn the difference between people who ask how you're doing because they care and those who ask because it's polite. You begin to notice how quickly conversations shift when you answer honestly. Say, "I'm fine," and they nod. Say, "I'm not okay," and they freeze, unsure of what to do next. Because in truth, most people want you to be okay for their own comfort, not for your healing. Your vulnerability makes them uncomfortable. Your sadness feels like a burden they're not willing to carry. So you stop telling the truth. You stop opening up. You smile through it. You joke through it. You learn how to wear your pain like a well-fitted mask. Because after a while, you realize it's safer that way. There's a deep irony in the way we are taught to seek validation for our pain. We are conditioned to believe that sharing our struggles with others is a sign of strength, a form of connection. We think that by opening up, by expressing everything we're feeling, we will find solace. And maybe, for a moment, we do. But more often than not, oversharing can do more harm than good. When you reveal your pain too freely, it's not always met with the understanding you expect. Instead, it often becomes the subject of gossip, unsolicited advice, or judgment. You may think that sharing your raw emotions will bring people closer, but in many cases, it creates distance. People don't always know how to handle the weight of your truth. They might feel awkward, unsure of what to say, or even uncomfortable with the depth of your vulnerability. As a result, they might distance themselves or react in ways that feel dismissive, even if unintentionally. It's easier for them to ignore the situation than to engage with it. It's easier to throw out a quick, "It'll get better," than to sit in the discomfort of your pain and really understand it. And then there's the danger of overexposure. In this age of social media, it's all too easy to share too much. You can post about your struggles, your heartbreaks, your battles, thinking that by broadcasting your pain, you'll receive the validation you need. But in reality, this often opens you up to strangers who are curious, not compassionate. People on the other side of the screen don't know you. They see your words, your moments of vulnerability, but they don't see the full picture. They can comment, offer advice, or even criticize without understanding the context. What was once a private battle becomes a public spectacle, and it's not always pretty. People might become invested in your struggle for a moment, but their investment isn't always rooted in empathy. Sometimes it's about entertainment. Sometimes it's about watching you fall, only to rise again. It's not about offering support. It's about witnessing your story as if it were a show. Oversharing can also drain you. Every time you open up, you expose yourself to others' opinions and judgments. You end up carrying their reactions, their thoughts, and their judgments on top of your own pain. You risk feeling more isolated, more misunderstood, and more vulnerable than before. The emotional burden of trying to navigate the aftermath of oversharing can outweigh the relief you initially felt by speaking your truth. There's a line between being open and being too exposed. The former allows for genuine connection. The latter leaves you vulnerable to manipulation, to apathy, or even to exploitation. Sharing your pain should be intentional. It should be done with care, with the understanding that not everyone is equipped to handle it, and not everyone deserves to. Vulnerability is powerful, but it's also delicate. If it's not met with the right response, it can leave you feeling more broken, more exposed, and more unprotected. So as much as we are encouraged to share our pain, there comes a point when we must ask, who am I sharing this with? Who am I sharing this with? And what do I hope to gain from sharing? You can't expect others to understand your pain in the way you need them to. Not everyone is capable, and not everyone is worthy of the deepest parts of your soul. Sometimes the most healing thing you can do is keep your struggle to yourself, not because you're ashamed, but because you recognize the power in protecting your heart from further harm. There's an odd kind of strength that grows in silence. It's not the type of strength that's obvious or loud. It's the quiet, steady kind, the kind that doesn't beg for attention, nor does it seek validation from others. It's the strength that comes from being with yourself, even when the world seems to turn its back on you. It's the strength that rises in the midst of your deepest pain, when no one is there to applaud you, when there's no audience to witness your struggle. In silence, there's a kind of solitude that forces you to face yourself. No distractions, no opinions, no noise. Just you and your pain, your thoughts, your deepest fears. In this space, you begin to understand the value of your own inner voice. You learn to rely on yourself, because when everything around you falls apart, you're all you have. You learn how to heal without needing others to heal you, how to pick yourself up when no one else is offering a hand. This is not to say that we should never seek help, or that we should endure every hardship alone. But there's a time and place for reaching out, and a time for retreating inward. Sometimes the loudest voices are not the ones that bring peace. The world may try to fill your mind with noise, constant chatter, opinions, advice, and distractions. But silence offers you the clarity to hear your own thoughts, to reflect, to process, and to grow. In this space of silence, you begin to realize that your pain, while deep, doesn't have to define you. It's a part of your journey, but it's not the end of your story. You don't need anyone's sympathy or approval to heal. What you need is the ability to listen to yourself, to be honest with your emotions, and to give yourself the time and space to heal on your own terms. Silence gives you the freedom to do that. And as you sit in that silence, you start to build a kind of inner strength that nobody can take away from you. It's the strength of resilience, the strength that comes from knowing that even in your darkest moments, you can still carry yourself. You learn how to move forward even when it feels impossible. You learn how to endure, to be patient with yourself, and to trust that in time, the pain will pass. This kind of strength doesn't rely on others. It doesn't need external validation. It's self-sustaining. And that's the power of silence. as silence. It's a place where you find your center, where you reconnect with the deepest parts of who you are. In the quiet moments, you discover that you are enough, that you don't need anyone to fix you or tell you what to do. You are your own source of healing, your own source of power. It's in the silence that you learn the most about yourself. It's where you can reflect on your past, your mistakes, your regrets, and where you can find peace with all of it. The noise of the world is often filled with distractions, but silence cuts through it, allowing you to see the truth clearly. You stop running from your pain because you've come to understand it, not as a burden, but as a teacher. It teaches you patience. It teaches you how to listen. It teaches you that you don't need anyone to hold your hand through every storm. You are capable of weathering it on your own. One of the harshest truths we must come to terms with is this: understanding is not something anyone owes you. We live in a world where we're often conditioned to believe that our pain should be acknowledged and understood by those around us, especially by the people we care about. We want them to see the weight we carry, to understand the depth of our emotions, and to offer us the comfort and empathy we believe we deserve. But the reality is, no one is obligated to understand your pain. Understanding is a gift. It's something that comes naturally when people care deeply and are willing to invest time and energy into truly seeing you. But expecting that kind of deep understanding from everyone around you is setting yourself up for disappointment. People are, at the end of the day, individuals with their own experiences, limitations, and perspectives. They see the world through their own lens, shaped by their history, their values, and their struggles. What makes perfect sense to you? The inner turmoil, the silent suffering, the weight on your shoulders, might be incomprehensible to someone else. Even the closest relationships, the ones built on years of trust and love, can be tested by our deepest pain. We may think that because we've shared so much of our lives with others, they should automatically be able to understand the parts of us that are broken or hurting. But this is not always